Bonjour Nifty, bienvenue à Nitoki Nicole. I am Nicole and we are a crafting community. So grab your work in progress, also known as a whip, and let's get started on our 10-minute crafting break. Today I am drinking Earl Grey tea with cream and sugar in the raw. And I know people are saying that you should not put cream in your Earl Grey because it splits, but that's okay. It's okay. It worked out. So today I am working on some painting. I have this little kit that I think it was actually my son's kit, and I think he got it in a party bag, but I loved it because first of all, because the little things are so cute, but second of all, because I just feel like, I don't know, I think I have this dream of like going to the park and, creating master water pieces. But I mean, part of that issue is that I'm not that good. But second of all, I also don't have time, but that's okay. So I did do some the other day because I was really excited, but I did not get as far as I wanted, and I only used this little brush. So this is what I have with the little brush. Let's see if this looks good. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it. Okay, perfect. But today I thought I would bring out my other brushes, and so you can see my big kit of brushes. Oh my gosh, I almost dipped it in my Earl Grey. Okay, so now I've wet my brush and I've already pre-moistened these watercolors just by putting a drop. If you put too much in them, they kind of overflow. So I've learned that lesson already. So I just kind of put a drop and let it kind of sit there. And then I'm going to go here. You may remember that this is my Koko and Lynn journal that I got. I buy my journals in, look how pretty this is looking. I buy my journals in like June or July. I think I need my glasses. I thought I didn't need them, but I think I do. For the academic year. Oh, that's better. Oh, wow. I can really see a lot better. I think I've been sleeping on these glasses. So I've had this journal since June. Oh, how pretty. Okay. And then I'm making this the dark side. Okay, let's pretend the light is coming from the coffee. Okay, these are things I'm kind of learning as we go. Okay, would I like anything else to be brown? I'm gonna have a little shadow over here. And I love this journal because first of all, it's hand drawn and you can see, of course, the drawings are so cute. So that's beautiful. And in addition, the paper is very high quality, which is great because you see I'm watercoloring and I don't use a lot of water because that's who I am. But I can still watercolor on it, which is good because normally I would put a piece of paper underneath, but I just didn't think it really needed it. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm gonna get a little bit of this red and it doesn't look wet enough, so I'm gonna just put a little bit more. Maybe I'm gonna touch up this. Oh, look how cute that is. Wow, it's really a lot nicer if you have a little brush that works. Ooh, look how cute they are. Okay. And I do love this journal because it's so cute, right? And her writing is so pretty. Like there are so many things to love about this journal. Oh, this was supposed to be coffee. I was gonna make that coffee. That one red. Maybe a red one over here. And then I was trying to add a little bit of like interest over here with these. A little shadow. Oh my gosh, I almost did it again with the tea. Maybe I should move my tea out of the way. Oh, in my favorite Eeyore cup. I'm just going to put a little bit out of reach so that I'm not dipping. Because normally I use a cup for water, but because I'm doing like so little, I just thought, oh, I'll just use the cap. Okay, should we do any more red hearts? Make this little dot. Okay, I also wanted to do some pink ones. Okay, I'm gonna go for the pink, I think. Wait, should I go for the pink or the yellow? I think I'm gonna do the yellow because I wanted to do like a yellow brown thing with this letter. Okay, and then this letter up here is, couldn't get the edge good because I didn't have a good brush. Okay. I wonder what this letter says. Of course, we can make our own ideas. Okay, but the thing I don't like about this kit, I mean, and you should know, right? And this is just a personal thing. It's not about anything. It doesn't have anything to do with the way it's made or anything like that. But these are the things that I don't like, just to be fair. Number one is that I feel like I have to color all of it. And I think that I know that they also make ones that are journals that are pre-colored in so that you don't have to feel like that. But of course, I wanted to color my own in. I thought that was like part of the reason I got it, is because I wanted to color it in myself. But I don't always have the time to be, doing my artwork and painting and getting all the all the paintbrushes out. So that's something I don't like. But not like that's no one's fault. You know what I mean? That's not her fault. I think, well, Koko and Lynn, I think it's a girl and her boyfriend, or it's her partner or something. And then, but I think she kind of did most of the artwork. At any rate, I feel like I need something blue. Let's make this present blue. Okay. But then, okay, the other thing that happens is that once, like on the pages that I do my work on, I write a lot because I use it as a bullet journal. And when you use it as a bullet journal, you write almost everything down. I mean, that's the point of it, so that if you get distracted, if you're a person who gets distracted or has a lot of thoughts in your head, if you use a bullet journal, then the benefit is that you can write things down and then you won't forget it. For me personally, also, I also like about a bullet journal is that when I get distracted, and this happens to me a lot, especially when I work at my high school site, because I will be working and then someone will walk in. And of course I want to see them then, and it's totally fine that they walk in. But once they walk in, I totally forget what I've been working on. But when I have my bullet journal, I can just like turn and look and know exactly where I'm at. And to me, that's like really valuable. Okay, I think you probably can't see this part, it's off camera. But because my bullet journal is so full, then all of the colors are like pretty distracting to me. Look how cute my present is. Here we go. So sweet. Okay. The other thing is these watercolors are interesting because they actually get chalky. Okay, I'm thinking that I want to do I've been pretty busy at work, which is why I have not been recording. But I'm trying to make a priority. You know, you may not know, but Lunar New Year's coming. It's coming so close. And I had some goals that I wanted to accomplish before Lunar New Year. And I'm kind of close. I'm kind of close, and for that reason, I've just been like head down, grinding. And that's, you know, it's good for me. It's good for me, but I don't know. There's only so many hours in the day, right? And each of us only have the capacity to do so many things. And so it's meant that I haven't taken time to be artistic, and that is sad to me. Last time I painted, I did the keys, the key holder, the mailbox key holder, and then the Marin Cheese Company. They commented they liked it, so I thought that was funny. And I'll just round this little pink card out a little bit. Well, Nifties, I better get going because, of course, our time is up. And then second, I have a lot of work to do, so I'm going to go back to work. But I am so grateful that you took a little time to enjoy, hopefully a little bit of your own craft. And I am definitely enjoying mine a little bit. This heart is ugly. Maybe I'm going to fill it in with pink. It's funny how it looked fine, but then once I started messing with it, I didn't like it, which is probably the story of my life. But look, I'm fixing it. Someone told me that that's the joy of watercolor, is that you can just go over it and go over it, and if you don't like it, you can like thin it out. So that's pretty nice. I do like that. Oh, last thing I was going to, yeah, because I'm using not very much water, it dries pretty fast. Okay, that's pretty cute. I know I've told you that I have a subscription. My friend and I, we got a subscription to the theater, an annual subscription. It's been so fun. And she and I just went to see The Notebook. I know I told you I was finishing, but I wanted to show you The Notebook. I wanted to tell you about it because let me tell you that it was not something that I was excited about. In fact, I was more excited about the one that was about the corn. I was more excited about that. And that turned out to be our least favorite. It's still our least favorite. But The Notebook, it was really good. It was really good. There was no dancing, which you know I like the dancing, but the singing was fabulous. The songs were fabulous. Like I did like The Wiz, but I thought the songs were not. I feel like it could use a little updating. I think that's it. But the dancing and the costumes were really, really good. And this one, the costumes were simple, effective, but simple, right? And then, but the singing was fabulous, and the story, and you all know, I mean, you don't all know probably, but there's a movie called The Notebook that I had seen before, and there's a book. I haven't read the book, but I had seen the movie before. And the way they interpret it, it's not the same. And so the way they do it, I don't know. I can't decide if it's preferable or not, but I remember when I watched the book, like it took me like the whole movie to realize, like to make a big realization. But in the play, they kind of are, in the musical, they tell you right away. So you don't have to, you're not surprised at the end. And I feel sad that that it doesn't have that surprise, because it was like a journey. But also, most people have seen the book and I read the book and seen the movie, and so probably it wouldn't be a surprise to them. So maybe it's better this way. Okay, but I wanted to share with you that I use my journal. Not only do I do my artwork in it, which I've done here. It looks so cute, right? I think that's enough. I feel pretty happy with that. But I have my playbill, and I'm going to close this up right here. And I like to use my playbill. I like to use my journal as, this is not the right size. I like to use my journal as, I wonder if this one's bigger, because the other one, I think I used mine. Anyway, I like, oh yes, I did this. This is what I did. I like to use my playbill in my journal, like a bullet journal, like a real journal. Okay, so, and in this one, I don't want to give too much away. It was just really, really good. Some people like to look things up, like to know ahead of time, but I like to be along for the ride. So I try not to look things up, and so I don't want to give any spoilers. But if you have the chance to see it, it is so worth it. It was so worth it. But let me tell you, I mean, and you could have guessed this already. I think I'm going to go a little bit closer to the word strawberry. You're going to need your Kleenexes. I was ugly crying, not just like tear. I was ugly crying in the in the theater. And my friend, she was also ugly crying. We were both having it out. And then, I don't know, sometimes when you see things like this, you think, is this kind of love even possible? And so I asked my friend, I was like, oh, have you ever had a love like this? Because we park, it's a little bit of time from the parking lot to, from the theater to the parking lot. So I asked her, have you ever had a love like this? And then she said, oh, my husband and I. And I won't tell you her story because it's her story to tell, but I thought it was so sweet. And then I knew, I've known them for a while. I've known them. Yeah, I've known her like 10 years, and I met her husband later, but I've known him for a while now too. You know, I want to say more than 5 years. More than 5 years. And so, but I didn't know their story, and I thought it was really sweet. Okay, I'm also doing this. Well, I'm not doing it, but there was like a challenge. Some lady made a challenge about, actually, I will tell you her handle. It's Date Brazen. She's really sweet. She's a dating coach, and she wants you to meet people in real life, but she thinks that you need to have like main character energy. And her patron saint is Miss Piggy, whom I love. Anyway, and so she was like, make a list of 20 things you like about yourself. It may take a while, but do it. Anyway, I made my list, and it did not take me a while. So I'm just going to cover up my list because I want my own space. Okay. So I'm going to cover up my 20 things. Oh, there we go. Nope, that's not. Oh, it's stuck. It's stuck. It's stuck and it's crooked. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, yay! Okay. Here we go. Okay, there. Okay, and then I made a quote, and the quote is from Bridgerton, and I think he said, the reality of you is more tantalizing than any fiction, something like that. So that was here, but I'm going to cover it with a cute sticker. Anyway, here's my little February spread. I saw this in February, and then I painted this. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you've enjoyed your 10-minute crafting break or feel just a little bit more peaceful after spending time in community with other Nifties, please like, follow, share with someone who could use it. Oh my God, I did not talk about the Bad Bunny, like the Benito Bowl, Super Bowl. So I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. And then if you could comment your work in progress and tell me what's going on with you. I've missed you so much, and I I really hope to see you again tomorrow. And I'm thinking I'm going to do some diamond art because I've been missing that. And I'm definitely going to talk about Benito Bowl because I had a great time. Talk to you later. A bientôt.